Cincinnati and Kansas City.
Yep.
I don't even know why Cincinnati shows up. There's
No.
no chance. They
Nope.
cannot win.
Nope.
They shouldn't even be here. They got their first
Nope.
road playoff victory in program history. They
Yep.
cannot win. It's
Nope.
Patrick Mahomes. It's Hill's back. Kelsey's back. It's in Arrowhead. 7 points on the move. You can't get there. Total 54.5. So start there.
All right. So pretty simple, right? We got to 7 pretty quick. Any book that opened 6.5 got to 7. We're sitting there. We're waiting. The total is the question. The total is the story more than the side right now. 54.5. It's already up to 55. The speed limit game. The speed limit game was Buffalo, Kansas City Sunday night. 55. Bad guys played it under right away because you can't have a total that high. Then you watch the games and you realize, we got interference calls. We got unbelievable quarterbacks. We got guys running wide open. Tyreek Hill runs faster than any human being on a football field. His legs just keep going. It looks like a cartoon character. And he gets to the end zone on plays he ain't supposed to get 10 yards on. So, I mean, you see these numbers. You saw the games. Your first thought when you saw 7 and 54.5. First thought.
Chiefs under.
You thought under?
Well, I was wrong last week. Remember, I went highest total of the week, tried to apply our college trend to our pro trend. You're right. But okay, so here's my questions. I mean, you raised a great point. Here's my questions, though. That didn't get over. Now, I know this is ridiculous what I'm about to say because there were 25 points in the final 2 minutes,
Right.
but that was close, right? That was getting close down the stretch there and then sailed way over. So if you just look at the box, you're like, what are you clowns talking about? It was way over. But it was down to the final 2 minutes, number one. Number two, part of me says, okay, Chase, Higgins, Boyd, Joey Burrow, Chiefs defense. I mean, they're going to score some points. But then I look at what they've done. There's been times when Cincinnati doesn't score a ton of points. They had a lot of turnover luck last week against Tennessee.
Yeah.
So is over the right play? I mean, are we going to go over 55 again? And I will also say this. Here's my last point, and you can take this with total and the side here. I was wrong about Buffalo last week. I said there is not a chance they can come in and play back-to-back perfect games. Right? That's why I liked the Chiefs last week.
Right.
Well, lo and behold, Bills almost played a perfect game. They were tremendous again.
Yes.
All right, so two parts to this. Can the Chiefs play another game at a super high level, number one? And number two, the Chiefs had to play at a high level because the Bills came in there and played so great to get out of there. Are the Bengals going to come in and do what the Bills did? And the Bills lost, Dave. They couldn't have done much else.
No.
Historical performance from Gabriel Davis. Franchise performance from Josh Allen. They were right there, and they lost. What's Cincinnati got to do to get a win in this game?
Right. That's the scary part. That is the absolute scary part about taking Cincinnati is Buffalo did all that and lost. So how do we take 7 here? How are they going to win? They can't win, can they? The game has to obviously be a little bit different. We're never going to get a game like that again. We can't. But we just saw round 1 of this in Cincinnati on January 2nd. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. And it was 34-31, final score. Cincinnati wins. They traded scores. Kansas City got out to a big lead. Cincinnati fought through that adversity, came back, won the game. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times. His uniform number's 9. I love the number 9. That was my number as well. But he got sacked 9 times, and they won the game. I think they're live to cover the spread. Can they play a perfect game and lose? Of course. Buffalo just did. But for me, I mean, how does Kansas City lose this game? I'm trying to decide who's the better story for us for content, who's the better story for the books for more interest and handle. I can't decide. I still haven't decided what the actual play is sidewise, and there may not be a play. Everybody's got a case for somebody. You know, today I like Cincinnati. Tomorrow I might like Kansas City. I cannot decide, but I like over. I'm going over again. I think, though, when you really look at this, both teams' path to victory can be the under as well as the over. And I don't normally say that. Usually one side, like last week, which we'll get to, San Francisco and Green Bay. I didn't see San Francisco winning a shootout with Green Bay, but they could win the game if it went under. They did. This week with this game, I think this will be a tremendous in-game betting type game where we'll have some lead changes. Not like 4 of them in the last 2 minutes, like we just saw. That was incredible. But prop wise, when you think of this game, are you looking just Chiefs? Or are you looking that maybe there might be some? I mean, Cincinnati's got a roll call guys between Burrow, obviously, Mixon, Boyd, and obviously Chase. Like, I mean, this is a dream. You got really good games, at least this one, with a roster of players you can fire on.
You do. Here's my concern on the Chiefs side of things. I don't like to go under on a lot of these receiving props, but I think, I mean, and listen, I don't know that I want to be under. Well, I don't know that I want to be under on a lot of Tyreek Hill or Kelsey situations, but you tell me, you're going to get inflated lines on their numbers after what they just did. And I'll give you one coming up a little bit later in the show that I look at and say, oh my God, can I take an under on this? It's right in my wheelhouse. We might have to take a Hill under. I'm going to give you the numbers, but you're going to get inflated lines on the Chiefs in particular, right?
Yes. This is so. It was funny. I was met up with some guys on Sunday at the book who were in from out of town, very sharp guys. And I said, how'd you guys do this weekend? How was the weekend? They're like, oh, Saturday was a dream. Both games went under, all the negative results, everything prop wise went under. And I said, how about Sunday? And they said, that's why we're going drinking right now. We didn't win a bet. We didn't win one bet, like the Buffalo Kansas City game. None of them. They had under and all these different things. It didn't win anything. So for you to even think about an under, I'm impressed. I can't wait to get to that.
We'll get to that. All right, let me ask you one more thing before we move on to the second game, because I want to do this for each game and then both games combined.
Yep.
If I said to you, you've got to play a same game teaser for Cincinnati and Kansas City, are you going Bengals up? You going Chiefs down? And then I assume you're going to tell me, since you like the over, you're going to take the total down and play it over. But what side would you pair with that?
I would do both. I would actually. I'm good with both sides. At 7. If we can do a 7-point teaser and I can get Cincinnati plus 14, I'm good. And if I could take Kansas City to pick, I'm good. Of the two right now, as we're recording this on Wednesday morning, January 26th, I would say I feel a little better about the points. I just think
you would. You'd go Bengals.
Yeah, I mean, 14's a ton. This is. I don't think.
What if I only do a 6-point teaser, keep my juice on DraftKings at 120, and only get to 13, so I don't get the 2 full touchdowns?
Yeah, that makes it a little more interesting. And now all I need is Kansas City to win.
Right.
By
one.
Case.
Yeah.
And because I mean, really, what is Kansas City's back? Like all this, like we're not.
We said that last week, and they feel back, right? I mean, that was the old Kansas City.
Yeah, they're back. Like Mahomes is doing his thing. The offensive line has given him enough time, and he's running. Like his prop running has been priced wrong for weeks because for halfway through the season, he wasn't running and he was getting hit. He was obviously hurt a little bit. Now he's getting over his rushing prop on one rush.
It was early last week. I was on that last week. That was an easy cash.
Yeah, it's an easy cash and it's early. So him being able to run the ball has changed a whole dynamic of like, oh, we'll sit back and we'll play coverage and we'll make him have to pick. He's like, okay, rush 3 or 4. I'm taking off. And then it all changes. So Kansas City -1 is very appealing. I mean, how do they lose this game? That's be a huge upset. I just think the total down and going over, the thing could get to 60. It could get to 60. As hard as that is to say, both teams score in the 30s, 38, 31. It goes over, and you're left holding a great number, 60 under loser. So I'd rather go down and just have to get the game in the 50s and win.
Yeah, I'm with you. This might be a big teaser weekend over here in the Howe household. This might be big. This might be big. All right, we might tease each game. We might combine them. Let's go. We only have a couple games left, Dave. We got to fire on some stuff.
You got to do what you got to do.
We only have a couple games. Got to do what you got to do. Please play responsibly, by the way. Please play responsibly.
Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, click on another video right here on the screen. And if you really liked it, consider subscribing below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.